the fourth myth. Yeah.
That using your air condition uses more fuel,
Consumes fuel.
than using it. Now that is not entirely false, but it is very debatable.
Yes.
Let me explain. Engineer terms.
Yeah.
So when they designed the car, they designed the engine for the car to be able to push the car. So if the car is a very big heavy car, you need a big powerful engine to push it easily. If it's a light car, you don't need a very big engine to push it. So they design it according to what they have built.
Okay.
Now in designing it, talking about especially modern cars, in designing it, they factor in the load that the air conditioner is going to take. So now with all the tests you do, mind you, they have the glasses rolled up. Okay. So now if you are driving with your glasses rolled down and you are speeding, you even realize that if you to say the air is pulling you back, you're having a lot of drag.
Aerodynamic drag.
You're having a lot of drag. It's just like when we're kids, you take a cloth, you put it around
the next time the weather becomes clear, I'm doing it with my small girl.
You see, you have a lot of drag.
Yeah.
So you realize that you need more energy to push that.
Yeah.
So now if you buy your fuel and you decide to go with air condition, like what you are saying, driving the car economically, you will still be able to enjoy your car with air condition, as opposed to someone who has decided to roll the glass down and is speeding all over the place with the glass down. The two of you still go chop petrol. So put on your air condition, and the air condition safe. This one is also debatable. The level you put it, as I said, is the load on the engine. Do you get it? Is the load. So if you just put it like 1, 2, you just stay inside the cruise, you are fine.
Okay.
You will not put too much load on the engine for you to worry about fuel. You get it. So as you said, we'll talk about economy driving next week. But if you're able to drive economically with your air conditioning on, then that myth is also not true.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like we just talked about, modern cars are finely tuned.
Yeah, they factor that in it.
Everything. So when it comes to fuel efficiency, a lot of it is got to do with attitude, and also it also boils down to attitude anyway. If you're not maintaining your car well,
that one too. Yeah,
for your car is very poor.
That one too.
Yeah.
So that myth, enjoy your condition.
Enjoy your condition.
Man.
Enjoy your condition. All right. So that was number 4. The fourth myth. Let's keep it going on. Which one? SUVs are safer than smaller cars.
That is a big lie, man.
The first time I hear that one and even that thing they say, the old cars.
That's also a different myth, actually.
Yeah,
that they have stronger body.
Cars, no?
Have stronger body than the new cars.
Yes. Well, I mean, it might be true that the body is hard, but as in safety.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, Peugeot 404. Charlie, when you said the gang, I can't see you.
I saw this picture where
then the human being is dead. The car is alive, and the human being is dead.
I saw this picture where
the steering wheel will hit your chest.
To just crack your
you get internal bleeding and die.
That's all. So Charlie, that one there, and the Sharon country is
okay.
So the point is, for the old cars, people assume that they put in more steel or something, more material, so that one is harder than the modern cars.
Okay.
But you see, if you want to make these comparisons even with the sports cars that are using carbon fiber, that are lighter than the normal aluminium and all those things we use, they are stronger. So if those two cars go a crash, you realize that the old one go fit spoil self past the new one. And you have to understand that these new modern cars we are talking about, the reason why they look frail is that they are faster. They are way faster than the old cars. So the impact will not be the same as the old cars having an impact. You understand? And now in terms of safety features, we now have airbags. We have so many things in the car that will save your life. And that's the truth. For the features, if we won't mention some, there's even a feature that saves a pedestrian if the car hits the pedestrian.
Yeah.
So the engine just pops up a bit, so you don't get to hit the engine or anything in there, even if you dent it a bit. It's all safety features that the old ones don't have. So in terms of safety, it doesn't matter. In the same vein, SUVs and saloon cars. No, it doesn't really matter. It depends on the engineer, the people who engineered it, how they engineered the safety features of that car.
Thank you. That is a word. Safety today is engineered into the car.
Exactly.
Salom and his people decide that okay, we want this car to meet this level of safety. And they put in place systems that will bring that car to safety. It is not a matter of the size of the car, how high the car is off the ground. No.
You know, sometime back I was shocked to find out that Tata, a very old model, didn't have airbags.
No, they didn't have.
Yeah.
Even
and it's a SUV.
You know, recently, not very recent, but I think about 2 years ago, when there was this a deal between Move and CFAO for Suzuki Expressos, there was a lot of back and forth saying the car is unsafe and blah 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 blah.
I heard that.
And
that too.
That report actually happened in India, where the Expressos are built. You know, and the market there did not dictate airbags. So they were actually selling the Suzuki Espresso there without airbags. That is how come the safety rating was that low. Okay, but the ones that were being brought here had airbags, you know, and there was a whole lot of things, you know. CFAO had to do some, you know, comms around it to educate people and all that. You know, now when they build the cars, for example, we have what we call crumple zones. Okay, so if you look in the engine compartment, for example, you will see that there are particular places, some things like notches and things are there. When you see them, you might think it's just for decor or maybe helps them to fix the car or something. It is there because when the car hits something, they want the car to fold in a particular way
to save the people inside.
There is something that they put around the tire they call SOB. SOB. I can't go into the meaning of it's an acronym. You know, I've been watching a lot of your before your things. SOB. You know, and when you watch the crash test, the car will go like this, then they will put some big concrete there like this, and the car will hit it. And the SOB is what will make the car throw the car this way.
To deflect it.
Exactly. So the car now where it they deflect like that, you know, it they save you the passenger's life.
You know.
But
those things are those little
now
things are there.
Then you will say, "Hey, can I say you yes, but you are alive." They have done that deliberately
to save you.
Sometimes the way some of these lower arm and other things break, and you are like, "Oh." I remember there was one time I was driving. I had a Suzuki Aerial at the time. And I was just entering a particular lane, and I didn't gauge. There was a hole in the culvert.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't gauge it properly. And when I turned, the car fell in, and the lower arm was made of it was an aluminum cast. So it just hit the thing, and it just snapped. You know, something like that. And all those things are designed because if you're more this steel, steel it won't break, but it will bend. Maybe a bendia, movie in a particular direction.
Which will
maybe not a passenger compartment. Maybe not a baby meow na ebuno. So when they do all these tests, then they say, okay, then let's make it from aluminum or this or that, you know. So very interesting when you follow a lot of people. A lot of interesting things.
All these things are there to save you.
Exactly.
So that one, be rest assured. Why? And as you keep saying, when you are going to buy the car, make sure that you research these things. Because every manufacturer and what they do. I mean, some of them have become standard. Obviously, air brakes have become airbags have become standard. And now we even have airbags at the top. So at the top on the door, the steering wheel, the curtain airbags, like
knee airbags,
everything is there to
there's some in the doors or in the seats.
The seats for you. So it's like to cushion you in and make sure that you are safe.
Let me just take advantage and talk about this, because I wrote a story about it some weeks. If you don't know, we have a website, www.ridechannel.com. We have a lot of interesting educative stories there. So please go. I have a story on this. Go and read www.ridechannel.com. Okay, go read it. Interesting stories. So these crash testing, so like we already mentioned, safety is engineered into the cars. Now a lot of times you say Euro NCAP, this NCAP, there are agencies that have been set up, most of them independent, that car companies are expected to submit the cars, and the cars will be crash tested. That is another topic we'll talk about, and I'm going to bring a lot of videos to illustrate a lot of these things that we are talking about. About 3 things in this myths has got to do with that, and a lot of times airbags, ABS, traction control, all the safety systems. Now you have collision mitigation warning. The more systems you put into the car, the higher the crash rating goes. Okay, so it's very interesting. If you are buying a car and then you want a car $7,000 brand new, it's very you cannot.
You know what you are buying.
Exactly.
You know what you're buying.
Exactly, because all these things cost money. I always say that airbag, for example, if you are replacing an airbag, quarter, you are talking about $500.
Yeah, it's actually very expensive to replace the airbag
for one airbag. I mean, if you are doing it in Kwanche, $500 before you have to program your the ECU that controls it. Probably maybe you don't want to spend between $250 to $300, unless you are doing it some underground person who is doing something shady, because a lot of those things happen in Ghana. But
then again, safety features so many. They even have a safety feature on some cars that when you are about to hit another car in front of you, even if your leg is on the accelerator, it will break.
Yes, because the modern cars, the accelerator is what we call drive-by-wire. Okay, titino wire be na assault accelerator cable na afa we be and tube na call carburetor.
Exactly.
But in the modern cars, the pedal is a module. Okay, so when you step on it, the physical action is converted to electrical language,
and they have to now communicate.
And it goes into the ECU. The ECU will think about it and look at other factors, then decide, do I give him power or I should not give him power before he go talk. But the thing happens in a microsecond that you don't feel it, so you think that that's all. Okay, so you are driving and maybe, for example, your car is overheating. Straight away the car will go into a safety mode, and a car won't accelerate as much as it's supposed to accelerate. You understand? It's saving you.
I think with the Tesla, they even have the limp home mode.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they call it in most cars. Limp home mode. Yes.
Another one. But with this one, it doesn't directly affect Ghanaians, because Ghanaians don't really patronize those kind of cars yet. And if you don't think about it like very well, you may not see it. And that is, electric cars are greener than what's it called? Petrol cars or internal combustion engines.
Yes. So is a myth correct or wrong?
You see, that's the thing. If you look at the face of the whole thing, it looks like it's true. Electric cars don't emit anything. You are happy about it. But ask yourself, how are we getting the electricity?
Okay, so me, this is how I look at it. I would like to own an electric car.
Yeah, okay. I like to drive one.
But I'm not. I've had opportunity to drive one before, or a couple of them before. I'm not doing that because I'm green conscious, but I don't think I'm up to the place where I think that I have to drive to save the world yet.
But the thing is that even now, the modern cars are being very careful about these things.
Exactly.
They are creating, obviously, you get some fumes, but they are now creating lesser fumes.
Exactly.
Lesser
especially
emissions.
for those of us that are down here. Yes, if I have the opportunity to buy an electric car, I will. If I'm buying the car for maybe leisure, I will go for an internal combustion car. If I'm buying for everyday driving, if I have the opportunity right now, I'll buy an electric car. My main number one concern is not yes, I want to save the planet if I can. All right, if the conditions, yes. But you see, what we are saying is that until you are buying an electric car and the whole system of you charging it comes from renewable sources, you are not really helping the environment.
Fiscal karma.
Yes,
they actually engineered a car sometimes so many years ago that had some sort of solar panel on the top.
There is no technology now that can provide enough solar energy
for you to
can
power,
take your car
to power your car.
Can even do 1 mile.
But that was a good idea.
It is a good idea. In fact, it's not only Fisker that has tried that. Sono tried it not too long ago. They put almost solar panels all over the car.
And yes, it wasn't enough.
And they tried. I think that it wasn't meeting the benchmarks, and the investors pulled out, and the company. Then there was one to something one. They had a car that was, the car looked like like a flying saucer, very flat. What's the name? The name escaped me. Yes, it also had solar panels. Yes, even the recent Fisker. The recent, I think it's Ocean or something, the one MKBHD talked about, and even that one had it. And for you to be able to get any meaningful charge,
to take time.
It means the car has to be packed months, and it will allow you to just drive just a few miles. Yes, so we are not there in terms of solar technology. Good. But this is what I'm saying. If you really want to drive to save the world, okay, there are two ways of doing it. Okay, number one, don't drive.
Use a bicycle.
Yes, use a bicycle. Okay, or something that you have to pedal or something like that. Yes. Okay, or you buy an electric car and make sure that you have a self-sustaining, sustainable, renewable source of power. Which, like, you have your own solar panel array in your house. So that is what you use to charge it. Until then,
it's not green.
It's not green. Yes.
Because especially when you go to Europe and America, especially the European countries, they have so many sources of generating power.
And over there, you can decide who you buy your energy from.
Okay.
So you can decide that, as for me, I want to save the plan. So I don't mind how much I pay. I'll rather buy it from Kwesi, because Kwesi uses more renewable.
Yes. That one is there. But let's face it, somebody will buy an electric car and all the person is concerned about is charging my car.
And another thing too that I learned was on one of the trips is that in other countries they market electric cars together with other sustainable power systems. Okay, so I went to a mall, a huge mall, and there was a particular booth. That was the first time I saw the Tesla Model 3. I actually sat in it. I think I have pictures on Instagram. And at that booth, they had Tesla, they had other electric cars, and they promoting the electric cars, but promoting that you also have a solar system built in your house to
charge it up.
Yes, and I believe in most of the other countries as well. Once you buy an electric car, you can also get even more grants.
Yes,
if you build a solar system to power your cars.
Okay.
Yes. So until you are doing that, you must forget.
They are not doing. So
next,
a lot of people have that kind of thing, Charlie. I don't personally. I just thought about it for a very long time. I was like, nah. So how are you getting the what's it called, the electricity? I mean, for most of it, especially in Europe, they have nuclear. They use the nuclear this thing. They use coal. They use In fact, a lot that's not green.
And the one that we have to stop using is the coal. Coal in the NDA. But one of the best too is what Ghana we have. We have a lot of it.
Hydro.
Okay, is a hydro. So we have to increase the capacity of our hydro power system so that diesel na they are banned, so we can can cut it down. And we have a lot of flat lands as well. Okay, so if we can invest into solar, that one will too help. Yes, but I think that our scientists too should do some research into more efficient solar panels. I know a lot of research is going on, but we need more. We need to accelerate it. And Ghana also needs to come to the forefront when we talk about some of these. Yeah, there are some great inventors. Ghanaian inventors. Recently, one passed away, I think, last week. Sadly. Yeah. Yes. So next.
So the next one is actually a very funny one.
Okay.
I've heard this.
I'm down. I'm always down for a laugh.
I've heard this before.
Yeah.
And it is that if your car is always dirty, you use more fuel.
Yeah, I'm more interested. I'm more interested in inside the car than on the outside. Also.
But that's what some I've heard.
Sometimes the outside of my car is dirty, but the inside
is very
clean.
Yeah, but
that's why I spend most of my time.
That's what people say. People say that if ukano de biabu fia, obe use super true, and they can't even explain it. It's a lie. So please, I beg, it's not true. That's not to say.
Well, they are saying that like you drive a lot in my area like this, mad. You are carrying extra weight.
Not true.
You're carrying extra
weight, and you are disrupting the aerodynamics. You're getting more drag.
Even your radiators and things are filled with that, so they can't breathe properly.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's not to say that don't clean your cars, I beg.
Yeah.
Please keep your cars the outside nice, but that is not.
Keep your car clean so that the city looks clean. Also, a clean car will last longer. You will have a better return on your investment, and that is one of the things we always talk about on the show. So that when it comes to that time that you want to sell and buy a new car, you can get good price because the car looks good. Okay, but
it doesn't chop your petrol.
They chop your petrol. Yeah.
So I think for today, we can end it here for today.
Awesome.
I mean, there are so many more, but let's
yeah, so many days, but we will end the show here. It's been a good time spending time with my brother Salom talking about cars. We love talking about cars.